People who have been on game shows and won. What did you really win and how did it help your life? I was on a kids game show in the late 80s with my brother. We won, but lost the grand prize, trip to Disneyland, in the bonus round, and were given a $500 gift certificate to a toy store instead. $250 each for a toy store was absolutely incredible for a couple of kids, especially in the 80s. I still remember that shopping trip. What did you end up buying? My brother was on Pyramid in 77 or 78, he got a lifetime of Rice-A-Roni. It was a case of like 48 boxes every year for like 3 years. We got a letter that the show was going off air and out of the Rice-A-Roni business. Cut us right off. P.S. My wife said it was a show called $25,000 Pyramid. That's why when I see these lotteries you get $1,000 a week or a lower dollar lump sum, I take that lump sum instantly. Don't trust anyone to be around for life. Lol. Cut US rice off. I'll see myself out, persevering face. My grandmother was queen for a day. It's an older game show. She won a new living room set. Pretty nice for the times. She won a new living room set, sounds like the ideal grandmother prize. Queen for a Day, is this a game show where you turn into one of the greatest rock bands of all time? I won the top prize, $500, on a quiz show called Inquisition. This was around 1999. The check arrived right before my car registration was due, which was helpful because I had just lost my job. I remember that show. The Inquisitor was fucking creepy. My girlfriend and I were on Shop Till You Drop and won big. I still use the dishes every day. The trips. It was a long time ago, I won was decent. I paid the taxes on my winnings with a check before leaving the lot. It took months and months for all the deliveries to come in, which was weird. I sold off some of it, used a lot of it, and can't find the episode anywhere. How did it help my life? The producer became a friend of ours and helped me propose to my game show partner girlfriend, and we're still happily married 15 years later. Oh my gosh. I want to help you find the episode somehow. I watched Supermarket Sweep followed by Shop Till You Drop religiously every afternoon. r/data hoarder might be able to help you find the episode. My mom won a trip to Vegas by calling in about her worst day ever on a radio show. They were giving away a weekend for two in Vegas to someone that had a really bad day. My mom's day started off with my dad getting into a car accident, totaling the van, our only vehicle at the time. Then when she got the rental car, she did some grocery shopping and accidentally locked the keys in the trunk after she loaded the groceries in. She had to wait over 2 hours for a guy with his arm in a sling to show up to unlock the trunk, and the key snapped off. They had to call a locksmith to open the trunk, and that took another hour. All the perishable groceries were no good anymore because they were in the trunk for 3 hours. Then when my mom was finally on her way home, she hit a cat. She then got home and had my brothers and I help her take in what was left of the groceries when my older brother closed the door, locking all 3 of us out of the house. Our neighbor had to help us break back into our house by prying open a window and helping me through so I could go unlock the door. This was back in 1991 or 1992. My parents had a wonderful vacation, and 9 months later had my baby brother. Edit, fixed some auto-corrected words. If it weren't for that series of random wild events, your baby brother may have never been born. Or they deserved to win that, and what a fantastic story for your brother conception. I won $125,000 on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire about 20 years ago. After taxes, I still had about $80,000. I paid my car off, got a computer, was able to quit a full-time job I hated and take a more enjoyable part-time job, and went to college. Now I work at a job I love that I wouldn't have if I never got a college education. R.I.P. Regis. This story is amazing. You did everything right with the winnings. When the fuck did Regis die? My high school drama and speech teacher was the friend someone called for a phone a friend option on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Back when Regis was still the host. The guy who called him shared a portion of the money with my teacher, like 20-30k, and my teacher used the money to adopt a baby. This is cool. So nice of him to share. Holy crap. That's an amazing game show winning story. Think about that kid now, their current family situation hinged on that answer. I won the showcase on The Price is Right. It was the spring break episode, so it was only college students. It was my senior year of college. Winning a new car and a bunch of other stuff made the last semester of college awesome. It's been 9.5 years and I still drive the car. So I guess it's changed my life in that I've never had car payments. What were the taxes like? This is pretty awesome. What else did you win? Not really a game show, but for those who remember Bozo Circus, I got to play the grand prize game, every Midwestern child stream. How did it help my life? For every bucket you hit, out of 6, you get a bunch of toys/gifts. I think I got to bucket number 4 or 5, they're much smaller in person, and we drove home with a car full of toys, games, and Bozo hot dogs. As a child, it was pretty epic. Edit, thank you for the silver. It makes up for missing bucket number 5 and 6. Smile. The 7-year-old in me is very jealous. I liked the guy who played the keyboard. When I was about 10, there was a game show on Spanish TV where you would call in to play the game. My mom and I got through one night and won a grocery store certificate for $100. We were so excited as this was big money in the 80s. We get to the store, by bus, and do our shopping. We get to the register and let the checkout person know we won the prize, and she tells us the manager isn't there and that we would need to come back another day for verification. My mom explains that we arrived by bus and how it is difficult to make the trip again. I remember feeling so sad. Thankfully, another employee at the supermarket stepped in and let us take the groceries home. I still remember the feeling of relief when he allowed us to do that. Won $700 getting a question right on a radio call-in show. My parents gave me $100 of it and kept the rest. At the time I was annoyed. As an adult looking back, it was because we were flat broke. $100 was an insane amount of money to a 12-year-old in the 90s, and the rest went to crazy things like us being able to eat. So overall not too bad. Oh, and when I was 20 I got to stand in a glass tube as a bunch of store vouchers for my local mall zoomed around me, and anything I caught I kept. Shoved them all in my shirt and walked away with a few hundred worth. Man, I always wanted to do the tube game and grab up the cash or vouchers. Pretty sweet. I'm sorry to hear you didn't get to keep your full $700, but I hope it helped you and your family through a tough time. I remember the first time I had $100 after growing up very poor. It felt like so much money. And the things I bought as a teenager seemed to have so much more value than the things I buy now that I'm adult with a decent amount of money. I still have the comforter from my favorite childhood show that I bought the first time I was given money as a birthday present. I was 10, and I believe it was $25. An absolute fortune. My mom and I went to The Price is Right, and my mom got called down, got on stage, and won her game. She did not win her wheel spin unfortunately, but she won $10,000 cash from her game, so that was pretty good. Can't complain about winning a bunch of cash. I think about 30 to 40% went to taxes. That's a damn nice win. What a fun experience that must have been. Ironically, she seemed to be on a roll before the wheel spin. I won $15,000 on Millionaire, with Meredith, not Regis. I kept $11,200. I had to wait 4 months for the episode to air and another month after that to get paid. Went to England and did a few smaller travel things with it, and then used it to rack up as little debt as possible in grad school. I will forever call it Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and not just Millionaire. I don't remember the amounts that you stay at if you lose after a certain question, but how high did you go? Did you use your lifelines up quickly? Did your buddy not cheat to help you? Did you miss on an easy enough question because you were under pressure? I won a few thousand on Jeopardy a few years ago. It allowed my wife and I to finally go on a honeymoon 2 years after getting married. Maybe not life-changing on the grand scale, but definitely made our lives a bit better. Awesome. Any good Alex Trebek memories? Did you mention that during the little Q&A session, the Jeopardy round? I swear I remember seeing that on an old episode that was recently added to Netflix. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.